positioning in life does not determine how well you meditate. I believe prayer is us talking to God, and meditation is God talking to us.
Balance. I always heard you got to keep a good balance of things, whether it's your workflow, your finances, or even just your overall health. My name is Nova. In this series, we're going to take a deep journey and show what balance actually looks like from a point of view of some new age entrepreneurs.
My name is Sundari Monique, and I am the owner of the Sanctuary of Self here in West End, in Atlanta. I am a costume supervisor in the film industry. Well, I do a lot. I do a lot.
I am Alicia Marche, also go by Rena, and I am a medicine woman. And I basically give people the tools to empower to heal themselves.
Greetings, Hotep, peace. My name is Atiba Pasineb Omar. I am a yoga instructor. I've been practicing about over 40 years and have been teaching about 35 years.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
What does it mean when someone says you must master yourself? What is self-mastery?
They say, I, self-lord and master, know thyself. That in and of itself is a moment-to-moment, day-to-day choice. How we choose, what we choose, where we choose.
It means one must let his sense of self go, release it. But of course, in order to do that, we have to master our relative incarnated self.
Mastering the desire to live and to be and to operate at a higher frequency than you are the day before.
To really know themselves, to really know themselves and be able to, use their energy in a way that's going to not just benefit themselves, but everyone around them. I feel like that's true mastery.
Master ourselves physically. This is one reason yoga is a marvelous discipline. Master the body, then it's easier to get control or mastery over the breath, and then easier to get control, mastery over the mind, and then to really delve into the spirit world and release that sense of self.
Just aligning with your God body and manifesting and creating from that place.
And then also, emotional, just being able to not react to everything just based off your emotions. Be able to observe your emotions and why do I feel like that? Why am I responding like that? Being able to check in with yourself like that and balance your emotions. Emotional intelligence to me is definitely a huge part of self-mastery.
Negative behavior is not productive at all. Stressing, if stress helped anything, I'd be the most stress-filled person on the planet.
Because if you don't have that, reflection on yourself and why these emotions are coming up, then you start blaming people, or you got shame, or you got all these different things. You got fear to speak up or to people, or communicate with people, and it's all those things just lower your energy, and it's really the opposite of mastery. And so that's really important.
Being mindful when I'm out of balance or I'm too much in the ego. Being mindful of the energy that I associate with, that I take in, and therefore I send back out.
But what keeps me balanced is being able to have time to play. You know, it does, because I think if you do anything too much, you will throw yourself out of balance. You'll cause yourself stress. You'll get sick. All kind of things. Like the universe will find a way to slow you down. So I make sure I take the time to, dance. To go out in nature. Water especially helps recharge me and keep me going and keep me balanced. So I like to go either to the river, to the ocean, and just, that's the one way I can continue to do my work without having to feel like I'm stressed out or it's too overwhelming or something. It's like, before I get there, I'm gonna take a pause, I'm gonna go outside, do some yoga, just connect with nature, because nature is always here to give us a recharge.
Meditation is you allowing God to talk to you and being open enough to hear, quiet enough to hear. Now, where that happens, that can happen anywhere. Some people can meditate while running. Other people meditate while listening to music. Some people need extremely dark spaces. Your positioning in life does not determine how well you meditate. How well you meditate is between you and yourself and your God.
Meditation is really when you are paying attention to your breath and observing, kind of what we were just saying, just observing your feelings, observing your emotions, observing your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? It's not about not having any thoughts, it's about observing them. Where are these coming from? And being able to really observe yourself. And when you are just focused on your breath, certain things come up that, you might not have been paying attention to. You might have been burying away or just ignoring. Especially, I feel like in this age of social media where we could just scroll all day and not even be super mindful about what we're doing. You can have so many thoughts in a day and you're not even thinking, why am I thinking about this? Or, sometimes we're just doing things that have no meaning whatsoever. So meditation is that time to really just reflect.
I believe prayer is us talking to God and meditation is God talking to us.
I think meditation is more like of an observation, whereas prayer is more of a conversation. Prayer is a conversation with Creator.
There's 7 energy centers that spin in our bodies, and they are connected to our spine as well as our organs and our nervous system. But essentially, they are chi points or energy points in our body, and they're strictly aligned.
It's the physical seat, actually the psycho-physical seat of our spiritual power.
Or in the Kemetic science, we call them aritu. They are connected to, your different organs and different aspects of your energy. So, you can go really deep with that question.
Vibrate to a certain frequency, harmonically speaking. They have colors attached to them. And there are 7 direct ones in our bodies, as well as there's some that are outside up and outside down. But for keeping it simple.
To really experience your own spirit firsthand, you have to open these chakras, or these things we call chakras, which really means wheels.
You can kind of explain it in the realm of what I do, working with Rasteki, which is is Kemetic Reiki, or the most ancient form of Reiki, where we basically use energy, like cosmic energy, to balance the chakras, and which is really important because there are different things that block the chakras, and then that plays out as certain emotional issues or physical health issues. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when you have a certain ache in your body, it's not actually about because you needed to exercise or something physical. It's actually about something energetic, that you've created a blockage. So for instance, with your throat chakra, you could throw off your throat chakra from not speaking up for yourself, or not speaking your truth, or not being honest with yourself or with others, or your first eye can go off balance if you're just not paying attention to your intuition, or something's telling you, something's guiding you to something, and you're like doubting it or questioning it instead of just going with God. That could throw you off.
The way to open your chakras is to baby your spine. You baby your spine. Your spine is the axis, the hub, the center of all of your physical activities, physical movements. It's the center of your physical and your spiritual health.
Sometimes one chakra being off can throw off, all of them. Yeah, exactly. So like fear, for instance, which is being pumped right now heavily, can throw off all of your chakras. You know what I'm saying? And that causes a lot of issues, not just health issues, like I said, but a lot of emotional and psychological issues. So it's really important to maintain, balanced chakras, which a lot of times this has to do, it's just self-work. It's self-work, but that's our sources of energy that keeps us mentally, physically, and spiritually balanced.
They are living entities. They are alive. They have their own energies. They have their own jobs to do. They move and they enhance. They're enhancers, basically. It's kind of like jewelry. That's kind of how I like to look at it. They enhance whatever it is that you're doing, and they help to align you, they help to keep you balanced.
The balance of our chakra, or the activation of our chakras, or even the amplification of our chakras. So sometimes if you are feeling out of balance in an area, having a crystal that it correlates to that area of the body will help bring it back to balance.
Some of them are protective. All the elements in the universe, earth, wind, fire, water, are part of these different crystals. It takes pressure, it takes water, it takes earth, it takes ashes. They're each created in their own magnificent way, but these stone people have information locked into them. And we're not talking short history. Some of them take thousands and thousands of years to manifest. They're conductors. They're engines.
What's so amusing about that is that everything that's in our plastic, artificial, technological world directly derives from the natural world. Stones and crystals are the primary example of that.
I also heard it can be used for meditation purposes.
Yes, definitely. They help to synchronize. They help to keep an individual, or help you to raise your vibrational frequency, which helps you to focus.
Computers, telephones, cameras, washers, refrigerators, whatever they are powered by some stone.
What clears the mind and channels the communication from these other realms. And what's interesting is there's a fine line between this world and the other worlds that exist simultaneously with us. It's a thin veil. And some of these tools will help you to crack the veil, or to see through the veil, or see on the other side of the veil.
I'll say this real quick. So I sell selenite crystals, and Selenite is a really good, and clear quartz are really good for, you can use them for pretty much any chakra. And even with selenite, you can charge other crystals with that. So there are some crystals that help you with your dreams, help you with your psychic abilities, and then there's some that are more physical.
The only stone that exists that does not have to be subjected to any kind of process in order to extract its power, shungite. That's why I have it here by the cell phone in order to neutralize the effects of that. That's another story.
So like I had a client who she needed help in her solar plexus, so she needed more assistance with asserting her willpower. And so, I told her, you should wear yellow, you should be eating yellow fruits, eat some bananas, you know what I'm saying? Exercise, that's a good way to build that will up, So there's always, for each area of the body, there's tools to assist you and to really optimizing the flow of that energy center. I work with lots of herbs. However, as far as plant medicines, I also work with cacao medicine. I work with kambo medicine. I work with ayahuasca, of course, changa. These plants have spirits, and so the plants have not been tainted. They come out the ground. They're connected to the earth, so they are, much older than us, honestly. And so they have this divine structure that when we take it in, it brings us back to our divine, how we came here, because we came here with everything that these plant medicines have.
Recent experience with plant medicine is with the ayahuasca and the kambo and the sananga and things like that. Of course, the herb, but using the herb in different ways, the ethnogens, the mushrooms, these types of things. And they are really about the self. And these plants are mirrors for yourself, for your life, for tuning in, checking in, healing traumatic experiences.
It really is for people who are ready to expand their minds and really break free from that limited perspective. And I understand that, especially like mushrooms and even with ayahuasca, but, especially mushrooms, people have a certain concept of it because of the whole hippie movement and, just like these things, and people just tripping and people don't even understand like the spiritual aspects of it, that it's really for your healing and for your...
It's not a party drug.
It's not. It's not. I mean, but even with, some things that we take recreationally, like marijuana, these sacraments are things that, even tobacco, which people just smoke all day long as a drug, all these things were once sacred and used to connect to spirit and used to connect to your higher self. So,
about tobacco, it does come from the same place. So think about that.
Even like with the medicine I serve, like I told you, I serve cacao medicine. Cacao is the pure form of chocolate. People eat chocolate and it's looked at as like a junk food, but hundreds and hundreds of years ago, this was looked at as a food of the gods. Like this was something that you would offer the gods, and it was a way you could connect to your heart, which is where all spirit, that's where your source of spirit comes from, your heart, not your brain. You know what I'm saying? So it was a sacred medicine. It does something different for everyone, and it just really depends on where your spirit is when you take it and your intention. Even though, like, you know, your intention might have nothing to do with what you actually need, and these plants are so intelligent that they're going to give you what you actually need in that now.
Straight to it. People have ego issues. I hear the medicines deal directly with your ego.
Certain plant medicines deal directly with your ego. And the reality is you only have ego or spirit. You can't have both in the same space at the same time. It's either faith or fear, ego or spirit. You get to choose. Because this is God's world. This is God's body, and anything out of balance will go back to balance at some point. Either consciously or subconsciously, either in life or in death. But at some point, you know, the blessing is you get to pick your heaven here on earth, and these plants are part of heaven's body, you know, and what you choose to do with them, you can use them or you can abuse them. But if you abuse them, you're gonna get checked.
I don't tell them like it's like hallucination. It's more like you seeing what was already there to kind of, you know, can you kind of speak on that a little bit?
Yeah. So, and this is just real. Everything we see can be an hallucination. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing illusions because the truth is in the dark, you know. And so when you bring light to things, it illuminates things. It's an illusion. You know what I'm saying? Like what we see when we look outside is different from what the animals see when they look outside. And, you know, and each of us have a different vision in what we see and what our minds pay attention to. So even like that aspect of opening your mind to realize like what we're seeing is really illusion. It's really what our mind is projecting, you know. But as far as, you know, people not wanting to hallucinate, you know, for one, not everybody even has visuals or sees visuals or has visions when they take plant medicine. Sometimes it's more about, you know, that inner conversation or, you know, navigating energy or even having an inner vision, which you can also just do just by meditating. My brother, he used to tell me, he used to say, God speaks in pictures, you know, because when we have dreams, you know, sometimes we have to decode the messages and things, and it's the same thing when you have visuals with plant medicines, you know what I'm saying, because Creator is speaking to you in a way that's beyond words. Like, English is not the first language that existed, you know. The first way of communication was straight from your pineal gland. You know, people were able to communicate without saying words. And so these plants, that's how they communicate with us, without words. But I wanted to say, with your first eye, how you felt that opening in ceremony, it is because the plant medicines do cleanse your pineal gland. So it does open that up, and it's open when we're dreaming. That's when it's the most active, our pineal glands. When you're dreaming or when you're with medicine that contains DMT, our pineal gland is activated.
Light switch, turn it on.
Is your name